Yo, yo, we live, we live, we live. Uncle Yahshua, 25 to Life Tales TV live show. We live again, we live again. So we got a great story coming tonight, guys. A great story. Going live every Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. For now, I'm going to try in the future. I'm going to try to do an earlier thing and see if that works a little better. I don't know, because this space is crowded at night, so we'll see. Either way, we're live here. We're live here.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. On my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His colors mobbing tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs. The level with funds is tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and Biggie and swiftly he shined the mug. That city a pity when 50 took 9 of them slugs. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua.
All right. Welcome back. Here we go. We're going in. Today's story, I'm going to try to get right to it. But one thing I do want to point out for people who join, who watch our lives, watch our videos as they rebroadcast. One thing I do want to point out is that I'm not going to be pigeonholed to be rushing my stories. If you are watches this channel and you want to hurry up, like you want to, I think you need to be on TikTok or something. If you one of these people in this daughter of Babylon that lost their attention span so fast that everything got to be so fast, like the brother Unique Mecca Audio said, he like, listen, I'm in the car, just ride along. I'm not going to be rushing to tell a story. The difference is, guys, these stories, even Unique Mecca Audio, shout out to the elder, these stories I'm telling are true. They actually happen. It's not this made up stuff. So I'm not rushing to try to tell the story just to entertain anyone. I'm literally telling the true story. Okay. So I have to walk it out, and context is key to everything. Okay. And then also I'm a teacher, I'm an elder. So I'm going to have little wisdom that I'm going to drop in when I'm telling the stories. So if you just here just to be entertained, I want to get to the story, then this ain't your channel for you. Go on, watch. They got plenty of these foolish YouTube joints telling all these imaginary stories or these fake stories. Here, we also have receipts. So tonight's story, I got receipts for this story as well. All praises to the Most High. He gave me a lot of receipts. Now, tonight's story is a very interesting one. It's the first story that I'm telling about a place in Long Island called Suffolk County. Suffolk County, shout out to Suffolk County. I'm from Hempstead, Strong Island, Parkside Projects. That's in the place on Long Island called Nassau County. It's connected to Queens. Okay, I've lived in Queens as well and Brooklyn as well. Those are the 3 places that I'm from, and then in North Carolina where I did my real estate and stuff, and now I'm in Florida. Shout out to Orlando. Shout out to Florida. All right, now, so this story is taking place in Suffolk County, called Huntington, Long Island. Huntington, Long Island was is my cousin Dow X. Dow X, y'all can remember Dow X from my story on St. Laz channel. My story on St. Laz, that's what's up. Shout out to Paul P. Shout out to Yadan. Shout out to Zayana. Shout out to Atsaya. Shout out to the people in the building. All right, Suffolk County, if y'all remember from my, shout out to Jim Pop, St. Laz. If y'all remember from my St. Laz episode, both stories I did on St. Laz channel, the one about Tupac and Granddaddy IU and Tretch beef, and the one about leaders of the new school, Busta Rhymes and Roosevelt. That both of those stories, there was someone in the story called Dow Lex. He was with me. That was the one me and him got back to back. and we both had our raises in the story about Tretch and Granddaddy IU, and he was the one with me that when at the robbery in Roosevelt, when he's about to pull out the gun, and I had to tell him the dude pulled out the gun on him. That's my family, Dial X. Shout out to Daddy U too. And I think Daddy U was here in this story. Unfortunately, he ain't here to join us on it, but he was here during this story. Now, Dial X is from my projects, Parkside Projects in Hempstead, Strong Island. But his family, his mom's married Dave, and they bought a house. They was doing well, the blacks, doing well, and they bought a house in Huntington in Suffolk County because the houses were cheaper, right? So they got a nice big house. So they moved down to Huntington, I think when maybe he's around 13 or something, or 12 or something, 13, something like that. So he went to like high school in Huntington. So y'all know how that is. If you come from somewhere else and you come to a new hood, you got to establish yourself, right? And Dow be from Parkside. He wasn't no punk. So, he put it in. So now, because Dow is from Huntington, when he got a little older, he started coming back to the stead and he started hanging out with us. He actually became a part of the Nasty Four, our rap group, right? So this before I think he was rap group, Nasty Four. So, and I think this before he really started hustling with me and Hempstead. We started doing our thing. So because Dow was from Huntington, he would bring us out to Huntington, right? Because I'd never really been out there. And so like if they would have a party or something, he'd be like, yo, because he was popular. So he'd be like, yo, and he used to play basketball, right? So he was like, yo, they got a party in Huntington, so we come for the girls out there, right? So now this is the time that I'm in I'm from the 98 posse. All right. If y'all remember, anybody remember the 98 posse, Chuck D talks about that in Public Enemy. You see these car keys, you'll never get these. They belong from the 98 posse. All right. So that was us. We were famous. If y'all know from my other stories on this 25 of life, right? So at this time, I had the lime green and white 98. I didn't pull the picture in. I'm probably going to try to pull the picture in. Maybe I could find it really quickly and pull it in for y'all. Again, receipts. So maybe I can do that. So I'm going to try to do that while I'm still telling the story. So at this time, I had the lime green 98, right? So, and at this time, I was really balling like crazy. Not my apex, not later in the 2000s, but I was really getting that street money. We was in the hood, the projects. This was at that time. I think this is the time that I told the story. No, not even the robbery of Roosevelt. I think this is after that. But it's not too far away. Oh, this is the time around the phone booth. So this is 1994. The story when the stick-up kids almost caught me at the phone booth. This is around that time. All right, I remember now. This is around that time. So, because I remember this because I remember what chain I had on. All right. A lot of times I remember what years it is by the jewelry I have or by the cars I was pushing. So I remember from that chain that I had on. So I'm gonna give y'all a receipt for that too. And as I tell the story in a minute. So now this time we got the lime green 98. I was trying to find a better picture, but I got one. Let me pull this one in to the stream. Let me see. I could just pull it up on the screen. Matter of fact, let me just pull it into this tab. So I had this lime green 98, right? And it was the famous one. And and this time I was balling, so I had mad jewelry on. So this is the time. Shalom from the UK. Shalom, Aaron Daly. Shalom, King. So this is the time, guys. Let me hit my branding. Let me add this to an overlay. All right, add overlay. All right, now let me add that picture right there. Bingo. All right. So this is the time, guys. All right, this is the car right here. This was the green 98, green and white. It was called Mac Daddy. All right. So this is the one that I had a couple of them at this time. I had more than one. This is one of the most famous 98s right here. and it had white interior, white seats. That's the wheel on the back, the leather roof with the racks, the green lights on the side, the green, that's chrome running boards around the bottom. Yo, this thing was crack, and big 20-inch white wall tires. Yeah, Pimp Daddy. So I had two on. One was called Pimp Daddy. This one was called Mac Daddy. Anyway, so we was going out there. This is the 90s. This is the the early 90s, because right around that time, you know what? Yeah, 87, 88, 89, 90. Yeah. This was earlier than that. This was about 90, somewhere around there. Because I remember in the picture, I had the Benz. So we had went foreign by then. So this was the early 90s. All right, now, so we I'm at this time, I'm wearing mad rings. Okay. So the rings on my finger, I had 4 rings on each finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 on both hands, and 2 rings on the thumbs. Stupid. I mean, it looks ridiculous. I'm not saying stupid fly. It was stupid fly, but it's stupid ridiculous. Like the amount of rings. Now, where I got the rings from was this dude from Freeport. I think Bernie was from Freeport or Roosevelt. Freeport and Roosevelt, Long Island, shout out. They borderline each other. So I think Bernie was from Freeport. And I got it from Bernie. So what Bernie was doing at this time, Bernie was hitting licks on in Southside Freeport. Southside Freeport is by the water, and a lot of people have money out there. That's where Prodigy and Havoc from Mobb Deep got their house. When Mobb Deep started making money, they bought their house in Freeport, and Prodigy tells that in his book. If y'all listen to his book, he talks about Freeport when they were living in Freeport. So they were living back there where the nice houses at, not where the hood at. So what Bernie was doing, Bernie was hitting licks out in Freeport by the water with the rich people. So he was and I'm quite sure statute of limitations, I ain't saying his last name anyway, but I'm quite sure this ain't murder. So statute of limitations is up for people doing, house, whatever. So, and I don't got no proof that he did. I'm just saying this is what was said, okay? Because don't do no thing to get nobody in no trouble. You know what I mean? This was what, 1990s, 91, 92. This is early. I don't know how many years that is. Right? That's insane amount of time ago. Now, so what I heard was Bernie was hitting all of the rich houses in the water back in Freeport, the rich houses. And so he was hitting them, and he was getting the jury. So Bernie would come see me. He would come to the projects in Hempstead. One time, I don't know, I saw him somewhere, and he was like, yo, Ra. And he was like, yo, I got some rings. And he pulled out these diamond rings, dude. And I was like, yo. And because, I always wear big watches and big chains. And he was like, yo. I was like, yo. So I was like, yo. So he told me how much. I bought them all. Right. So I'm like, so once I did that, he was like, yo, Ra, give me your number. Give me your number. I got these licks. I'm hitting these licks. He said, yo, when I hit these licks, I'm going to just call you. I said, yo, whenever you hit it, call me. I'm buying everything you got. So Bernie would hit me up. So this one time, guys, he hit me up, and he was like, I met him, and he pulled out this thing, and all you seen was these rings. He had emeralds, green emeralds. He had these diamond rings. They were big, and it had green emeralds with diamonds. It was so pretty. The green from the emeralds, I've never seen nothing so pretty in my life. I was like, woo. So I bought all of them, right? And all these diamonds. And then another time he came, this is crazy. He had all high school rings, meaning high school graduation, your school class, high school graduation rings. He pulled up and he opened up his thing, and he got like 20 high school graduation rings. I'm like, dude, we went and stole everybody's high school grad. So I bought all of those. So guys, I had so many rings, and I used to keep them in a speaker. So it was like a woofer, and it was and I used to put all the rings that was in this big woofer. I had like this big 10-inch woofer on my side dresser, and I would just have all these diamond and gold rings. So what I used to do is I used to pick and choose which ones I'm gonna put on that day. So I had interchangeable. I would have 4 on each finger. That's 20, 22, 22. So that's 44 rings on my hand. So, and then one time I would switch this whole hand. I remember this. I had all high school rings. I remember people was like, what, where you get? I had Queens, North Carolina, Brooklyn, like all high school rings for every high school in like America for like mad high school rings, right? All high school rings. So I would switch it out. Now, I had all those rings. This is that same time, and this is relevant to the story, okay? So let me give you an example. Let me show you and share this right here, all receipts. So now this is right before this time. So this is the picture. Y'all seen this from the Stick Up Kids, my Stick Up Kids video. This is Exotic. That's me. I got the Big Ben sign, but I got a bunch of rings on my fingers right here. This picture, shout out. Let me give a shout out. That's L from the story Exotic. This was Davey D. Shout out to Dave. This is Ja. This is Butter O. This is Blackface. I heard Blackface is dead. My little man Mighty K told me Blackface is dead. This is Hollywood. This is this is a Soup Bone. Shout out to Duke. Soup Bone. I got a story about Soup Bone. This is Zoo Banger. Shout out to Zoo. This is Mel. Mel is Czar's little brother. Czar is the one from the Jamaican Shower Posse, that video. The one in the car with me, that's his little brother. This is the God, right? And this is I forgot his name. This is Ja's cousin. And this is Ja's cousin too. And they're all three cousins. I forgot his name too. All right, this is part of a little bit of our posse. All right, now I got a little closer up picture. Let me see. You can see a little better. So, you can't see. Okay, you know what? Let me do it this way. Let me share screen because I want you to be able to see my my cursor. Present, share screen. These are just receipts. Y'all hold on. I'm gonna get to the story, but here we show receipts. We ain't just telling stories. I got receipts to show that these stories we're telling is the truth. All right. So let me see. Is it this one? Let me see this one. Yep, that's one. Let me share that one. All right. So now you can see my cursor. So you see on this finger, see these rings? They're going all the way here. This is 2 or 3 rings, 4. This is 4. This is 4. And now this is a later time because this finger is missing some. So I used to have all 4 going to all fingers. And you see this one, I got 4 on just the pinky. And this is the Big Benz. I got the big crazy chain right here. And then this is a gold Whitnauer watch, right? This is a little after because when I tell the story, that first set of rings, the ones that Bernie sold me, I lost them all. We got arrested and the police took them all. I'm gonna share that. That's a whole nother story, dope story. But the police took them all. And they also, the crazy thing, guys, is they never reported it. So I thought I was going to be charged, but the police, they took all the rings and never reported it. So whatever cops got that, I'm sure they divvied it up. Now, when I got older, guys, because we young, like I'm teenager stuff, we young, whatever. So we don't know the value of the stuff that I had. I realize now that I probably had millions of dollars worth of rings and didn't know it because he was getting it from these rich people house. Right? Understand, these millionaires and stuff. So some of them emeralds and diamonds was probably worth 50, 100,000. Like, who knows? I could have had $1 million ring and didn't even know. You understand? Again, the things that we did, from childhood didn't know. So now I got arrested. The cops took all of them. And then when I went because I got arrested for ratchet. And when I went the judge never mentioned nothing about rings. And I'm like, okay, if he ain't going to say nothing, I ain't going to say nothing. Because when they arrested me, guys, the right hand was all high school rings. And I remember the cop was like, we can charge you for every robbery for each of these high school rings. I was like, yo, he was like, dude, you could go life just from this hand, your right hand. All these high school rings, we could charge you for each robbery for each of these high school rings. And I'm like, because you're in possession. So I was scared to death when I went to court that I was about to be facing life, and the judge never said nothing. And I'm like, okay, what happened to the ring? And then that's when I realized later, I was like, oh, these cops took it all. They took him. I ain't knocking them. They probably got rich off him now. So these again, let me do one more. Let me show you so you can have one more receipt, a little clearer. So we don't play here at 25 to life. Well, we don't play here. We give straight receipts. Okay. So is it that one? No, I think that's the one I was already sharing. Okay, yeah, that's a little closer. See, so you can see the rings a little bit closer, and that's a wet now watch or gold watch. Okay, bang. So, and this, this is how heavy we was back then. Let me show you this. Let me show you this really quick. Let me stop share. Just the receipts, and we're gonna get to the story. Receipts are important, guys. You just don't want to have a story. You want to have the truth. All right. So this is okay. So that's this chain. Let me get a little closer. That's this chain. You see this chain? That's the link. That's the big Benz sign in the other picture. Look at the size of this big link. It's a Figueroa link. That's the ones that what's their name? EPMD started rocking later. I was rocking this stuff first. The streets was rocking stuff first before these rappers got their record deals and stuff like that. We was wearing all the big chains. All right, so these are just the receipts. Just y'all know, I ain't telling no story. So I'm not telling no story and don't got receipts. Okay, so now I got so Dow X is coming to tell us there's a party, and he's taking us to Huntington, right? I'm gonna tell this first part. So he's taking us to Huntington. So he's like, yo, we just gonna go chill. So we go out to Huntington, and we in the 98, and I got all these rings on, right? Crazy rings. This time I don't got the high school joints on. I got the diamonds on all hands, right? Bernie, by this time, Bernie didn't blast me out. Matter of fact, one last thing. Look at this. One last receipt. Where is it? This is share screen. This is Bernie. Right here. This is the Public Enemy album cover. You see these car keys? You'll never get these. Look what it says down the bottom. It says Public Enemy cooling with the 98 posse, Strong Island respect. So this is us. This is my crew. Only reason why I wasn't there because I was in Queens. That's in my documentary. So otherwise my car, my green and white 98 would have been here. This is Bernie right here. See, he got a gun in his hand. You got the red goose. That's Bill Blast. Bill Blast is the one that St. Last talks about. I might have Blast on here. I might have somebody find Blast to tell some stories. That's Big Head Jeff from my Mechaopolis post on Instagram from Bismarcky, my Bismarck post. Y'all know about that from the documentary. That's Kenneth. That's Floyd. This is that's Flav. That's Barry B back there. Chuck D. That's Eldridge. I tell a story about Eldridge in that other story with the brick step story. And that's Eldridge, whatever. And this is Bernie. And that's Professor Griff back there and the X, the Terminator X. This Bernie right here who sold me all the rings. Shout out to Bernie. All right, so bang. And that's Big Head Jeff. All right, so let me we about to get to the story, but the receipts got to come first, guys. You always need receipts. You just don't want to hear nobody just telling no fugazi stories. All right, one more. This the last one. Share screen. This one. All right, so this one right here. So this is me on Mechaopolis page. That's me with all this red Fendi, all this gold. That's a whole nother story with that. That's in Queens. This is me with Jeff, Big Head Jeff. That's him and Bismarcky. That's me down there with the MCM. This is the 80s, 4-finger ring, big rope Gucci's next to, look, under Nas, next to Rakim and them. All right, so this is, we're not telling no fake fugazi stories. This is the 80s right here. This is me in high school in South Road by Supreme Team, all right? These are receipts, okay? So you need these people to have receipts. That's the thing. Everybody got these stories, but tell them, show you some pictures. Show me some whips. Show me some cars. Show me some receipts. This is a Fendi coat. This Fendi coat is like, this suit is like 5 G's. I had the pants to this, all right? So this right here, this is the last one I'm going to share with this because I need the receipts before we tell the story so y'all could know that this stuff is factual. You heard? Facts. That's what we do at 25 to Life Tales. We don't tell stories. Ain't nothing fugazi. All right, when we present, share screen. Now, here we go. This one right here. Bang. Where is it? Right there. Okay, so that's the one on Mechaopolis channel. This is me. That's Big Head Jeff, the one right there. That's Bismarcky. This is the 2 big herringbones that I said on St. Lance channel. The one with Tupac when I said they wanted my herringbones, the big herringbones. Again, receipts. I could have showed him St. Lance, but he don't show pictures, right? So again, I'm not just telling stories. These are the receipts. These were the 2 big herringbones that they wanted in Brooklyn at the Empire, down the street from Love, people. All right. So yes. So when people talk about my legend from my streets, it's validated. You know what I mean? So my stories, these stories I tell on 25 to Life, they're not stories. People were there. You understand? We got receipts for everything. There's receipts for everything that I tell on here. Okay. Now y'all got to see. So those rings was each finger, right? So now we're going out to Huntington. So we get out to Huntington. So we go to this place called Huntington Station. Shout out Suffolk County. Now, it's my first time really out there. So it's the bar. It's a bar out there, right? So we pull up to the bar, and on the outside of the bar, pardon me, it got a big name, and it's called Boozers. So I remember I looked at it and I seen it. I'm like, Boozers? He's like, yeah. So my cousin Dalex, he's like, yeah, Boozers. He said, that's the famous football player, the Super Bowl champion from the Super Bowl champion Jets when they had Joe Namath and I think it's the 68, 69, 70, whatever, when the Jets won the Super Bowl versus the Baltimore Colts. Joe Namath, one of the most famous quarterbacks of all time. Y'all better know y'all history. The running back for that was Emerson Boozer, right? So Emerson Boozer was the running back for the Jets, okay? And we're going, and he had the spot called Boozer in Huntington, all right?
In 1966, the Jets added Emerson Boozer. Boozer was a slippery 210-pound halfback who led the AFL with 13 touchdowns in 1967. That was the breakthrough year when the Jets finished with an 8-5-1 record, the first winning season in franchise history. In 1968, the Jets set a team record by scoring 419 points.
But Joe's spirit, his poise under pressure,
that's Joe
are
Namath
what the New York Jets
going to
are
Boozer.
about. Not even for this man, Emerson Boozer.
Strong Island legend.
Number 32 has been on the brink of superstardom for some time. Only injury has kept him mortal. Although he missed 4 games, he gained 600 yards, averaging 4.5 yards a carry, making it his best year ever. Until Boozer and Snell were injured, the Jets led the NFL in rushing.
Namath, the drop back passer.
All right.
Complete to Emerson Boozer. Boozer spins away from Pete Jaquess and scores his second touchdown. The Jets own a 16-7 edge at halftime.
The Jets, with number 32 Emerson Boozer alive and kicking, ran successfully as
the
Boozer
Boozer.
gulped 115
Look at this
yards.
run.
But the elements and good defense combined, and the Jets led by only 3-0 at halftime.
All right.
The strategy worked.
All right. So that's Emerson Boozer. All right. Now, Super Bowl legend, Joe Namath to Emerson Boozer. Strong Island's own, right? Boozer, facts. So now we're going to the spot. Boozers. Boozer, now he's of course he's a celebrity, so he opened up a bar in Huntington. He's from Huntington, Suffolk County, right? So we go to Boozers. So Dalex tell me Boozers, I don't remember because I'm a little too young to know, to know about the Jets and all that. I was in the streets and all that. So I know about the Jets and I know, but I was young. Remember, that's the 68 bowl and stuff, right? So I didn't know who Emerson Boozer was. So Dal was like, yo, he's famous football player. Bang. So, all right. So we go into Boozers, right? So we walk in, we park the 98. We get out, we get in. Now I'm heavy. I got the big crazy, I don't know what, maybe the big Gucci link, something big crazy with a big Benz, whatever piece on it. It was before my Benz. I think this before my Benz. So I didn't have the Benz piece, maybe a big Nefertiti head or something. But what I know, I got all these rings on, right? Now, I always keep a ratchet because I'm not stupid face, right? So we pull into Boozers. We go into Boozers, and the first thing I notice is that these Suffolk County dudes are huge. I got another story coming about that. So for some of y'all that don't know, Shalom, daughter of Yah Masha Yavana. Shalom. Shalom, Yakar Battle Axe Warrior. Facts. Shalom, everybody. All right, listen. Now, shalom, Yadan, Yahadan. Shalom. All right, so now, the first thing I noticed was that these dudes from Suffolk County, okay, so Long Island is like this. So you have Eastern Long Island and Western Long Island. So Eastern Long Island is Suffolk County. It's out where the Hamptons are. Y'all know the rich people talk about the Hamptons, and Puff Daddy and them have their party out there in the Hamptons where the rich people at. So that's Eastern Long Island, Suffolk County. That's where Rakim is from, De La Soul is from, Biz Markie is from, Craig Mack is from. I mean, shoot, they got a lot of rap legends is from Suffolk County. Bumpy Knuckles, Freddie Fox and them is from. That's where a lot of the rap legends is from. Now I'm from Nassau County. That's right by Queens and Brooklyn. Okay, so we're at the west end, right going into the Queens and Brooklyn. So we really don't go out to where I'm from. So this is Long Island. I'm from here. Suffolk County's out here. We really don't go this way. We usually go this way to Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan, the Bronx. We go right to the city. We usually never go this way. Really, only time you go to Suffolk County is when you know somebody, you might have family. So, and that's where Wanda's Rakim from Amityville. Boy, it's wild. Wait till I tell my Rakim stories and stuff, all that. Wow. I got the Suffolk County stories coming. Suffolk County is no joke. Now, the first thing I noticed was that these dudes was huge. That's why for those who don't know, EPMD, Eric and Parrish, are huge. I got a story telling the beginning of hip hop. We went to the Kid and Play party for their movie. Y'all know the famous Kid and Play movie? The one where Martin Lawrence starred in, House Party, the first one. It was a industry event. Okay, this back, Granddaddy IU and stuff. We went to and EPMD came in. These dudes were like giants. EPMD, they both like 6'4" or something. These dudes are huge. I remember when they came in, it's like they were like giants walking into the thing. It was so dope, and everybody respected them. The respect level they had was dope. The boroughs in New York City loved EPMD. That's a whole fact. They gave EPMD like the red carpet, like facts. Them boys had a lot of respect for their music and stuff. The boroughs loved them. Everybody in the Brooklyn and the Bronx, y'all know what I'm talking about. They'll tell y'all, the OGs from outlet, they'll tell y'all they rocked with EPMD. Now, so I go into Boozers, guys, and the first thing I notice is that these dudes are huge. I'm like, and back then, I'm not 6'1" because I was young. So back then, I'm probably like 5'10". I probably weigh all of 150 pounds because I'm not working out really. You know what I mean? I'm working out a little, but I'm not like, like now, I'm not like, cocky. I'm, because I'm in the streets. I'm getting money and I'm busting my gun. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't even really working out like that. And we smoking all type of weed and stuff. So I realized these dudes are huge. Everybody's like 6'3" and big. So I'm like, crap, dude. So I'm in there and I'm like, my gun is outside. That's first thing I'm thinking. I'm like, man, if it go down, but we do. I tell you, I never go nowhere without razors. So we got our ox. So I got an ox. Dow got an ox. I think Unique, and I forgot who it was, but I think Daddy U was there too. Unique was with us too. So I'm not Granddaddy IU, the original first Daddy U. Granddaddy IU came after the original Granddaddy, the original Daddy U. That's why he named, because Biz wanted IU to name himself Daddy U, because Biz know about our Daddy U from the Nasty Four. And IU was like, that's already a Daddy U. He's like, well, then do Granddaddy. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I don't want y'all to get mixed up. I ain't talking about Granddaddy IU. I'm talking about the first original Unique, Daddy U, Unique. All right, so from the Nasty Four. So we in there. So the first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, man, dude, if it go down in here, woo, I'm gonna have to cut my way out of here because these dudes is huge. So bang, we in there. You go to the bar, you get your drink and everything. They playing music, you know what I mean? And I'm the type, I never get too comfortable when I'm in a spot. So I'm there, I'm enjoying the music, but I'm always scoping things at all times because I'm always heavy. I'm never going in empty. Like I'm never going in regular where I can just blend in. So I'm always, all eyes is on me the minute we walk in. I probably got some Gucci, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, custom suit, crazy wet. You know what I mean? Like all eyes. Like even when our car pull up outside, you know what I mean? Like if they know about the 98 posse, they're like, that's the 98 posse here. You know what I mean? They know where we from, right? So anyway, I'm like, so I'm never too comfortable. So I'm always watching everything on swivel. I'm always watching everything. So then let me, hold on. I forgot to do this. I'm about to do it right now so I don't forget. Good memory. Good memory. Let me put my banner back up. I got my banner down. Sure. There we go. All right, let's continue. So now, so let me see, do this, 25 to life. Bang, there we go. Now everything's lined up. So I'm in there, right? We in there. So, you know what I mean? They got their music. I'm watching everything, you know what I mean? I'm enjoying the music or whatever. They got chicks, but I can't get too comfortable because these big dudes is screw facing the mess out of me. So I can't even like put my guard down and relax and worry about, you know, Dow trying to hook us up with some chicks or something. I can't even get comfortable because as we walking around and Dow's giving pounds to his people because he go to high school there and stuff. He's giving pounds to his people. I still see, you know, dudes in the corner and dudes looking, dudes pointing, you know, dudes screw facing, like who this dude they bringing in, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm not comfortable. I'm like, and I ain't got no ratchet in. Usually I could sneak a ratchet in, but Dow told me don't try to get a ratchet in. He got, you know, that Boozer had great security in there. So bang. So I'm in there, whatever. Dudes are screw facing. I'm looking at them. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to cut my way out of here. So all of a sudden, they you know, we in there, the music playing. All of a sudden, you see a commotion. So the commotion up by the bar. So it's a commotion, right? So Dow was like, yeah, I think a fight about to go down. So, you know, we all huddled up. We got like back to back. So I'm like, you got your Aki? Like, yeah, I think I passed out some razors to some of my other boys. So we all strapped, right? So I'm like, we all strapped. So then these people are so big that the commotion, like you can't really see. It's like I need a chair to look, you know, to look. So I just see what I do see though. I see all this commotion. Then I see this one dude like break out, like people trying to, you know how people try to stop you. You're like, yo, chill out. And he like, get off me. And he break loose, right? And he had already been screw facing me. I had seen him earlier screw facing me hard. I'm talking about really hard. Like to the point he looking at me where he want me to say something, right? But I'm not biting it. You know what I mean? I'm just looking like whatever. I just ignore it. If you bring it, you're going to get wet up. You bring it, you think I ain't got something, you're going to be sliced up by the time you realize it. So anyway, he's like going crazy. Get off me. And he turned. Now he's a light-skinned dude, right? He's kind of big. He's like he's not that big though. He's not bigger than a lot of them. So he looked like probably about 6'1", maybe 6'2", right? At this time. Not too big and not too diesel, but you could just tell that he was like a rough dude, like he could fight. So you don't always got to be diesel and stuff. Like I could see his hands. I'll tell you, I always look for hands, his wrists, his hands was huge. And I could tell by the way he was acting that he was like a bully, right? And I don't like bullies. So, because he was, I don't know, he in the spot, he was like, you know, elbowing people and like just bullying stuff. Like he was the neighborhood thug, you know what I mean? So, and I'm keeping my eye on him because he screw-faced the mess out of me. He really didn't like me. So he's going all crazy, like, get off me. So they all like this. So then the security stuff for the Boozer, they start like, all right, they start like, we about to end it. It was already late. It's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. They're like, all right, cut the music. We about to end it. So they start ushering people to go outside. So now, y'all gonna take that outside, take it outside. So they're pushing them. So the dude is like the light-skinned dude. He like, come on. So he trying to pull the people. He like, come on, let's go outside. So he hurried up and rushed outside. So I'm like, oh, it's going down now. So they rush outside, right? The whole crowd gets to go outside. So then now they emptying the spot, right? So I always tell Dow, I'm like, all right, I'm the type, guys, I'm not going out in a whole rush of crowd. I'm always, because I always got to watch my back. I come from a place where they call play the wall. So you always watch your back. People who've been to jail and prison know what I'm talking about. I always play the wall. So I'm like, I'm not going to be just in the crowd. I don't know who behind me and who all that. Nah, I'm always like waiting for last. I'm always trying to be the last. I got to keep watching, right? So bang. So by the time we get out, we like one of the last ones. So we come out, they all in the street. It's a whole crowd. So the light-skinned dude got it's two posses. So he's like, come on, let's fight. So I'm like, these big dudes, I could tell like they were fighters, right? Now at this point, where I'm from in Hempstead, we shooting and we stabbing. But you got fighters, you know, we got some serious fighters where I'm from in Hempstead, right? But you got some shooters too, right? So to get a fight, it's hard to get a fair one. It's hard to get a fight because at this stage, back before that, you could get a fight all day. In the early 80s, in the 70s and all that, you getting a fight all day. But at this time in the early 90s, you getting clapped. Like ain't nobody trying to be tussling with you on the ground. So we've kind of passed the fight stage, but I could see them, they still in the fight stage. And these dudes is huge. So he was like, come on. So they get the fighting. So the dude, they both big. So, but the other dude is bigger than the light-skinned dude. So he throw up his hands, they get the fighting, and I don't know, this light-skinned dude just did something. The dude swung, he ducked it, and boom, he hit that dude. Yo, when he hit him, you know how when someone get hit, you can hear it or feel it? I could feel the pain on the dude's face. Blood popped out like he busted his tooth out his mouth. Blood went straight. It was like the hit sound like someone hitting a brick wall. It was like solid. I was like, woo. It was one of them hits. I'm like, ooh, I don't want no part of that hit. I don't want none of that. I'm shooting you all day. You get stabbed. I'm like, you ain't not hitting me with that. Right? So he hit him. Boom. He hit him. Boom. His blood, mouth went. Blood flew out. So the dude went and he caught him again. Boom. And then when he caught him again, the dude grabbed him. The dude went, like he caught him again. Boom. The dude went down. He just grabbed him and lifted him up. And like, and when he lifted him up, he started to slam him. But the light-skinned dude started wiggling his feet. When he had him up in the air, he wiggling and wiggling. And it made the dude lose his balance. And they both fell. And when they both fell, boom, the light-skinned dude fell on top of him. And he fell on top of him, and then he got one knee up, and he just boom, and he just boom, and he just he just banging him. Every punch was like a sledgehammer. You know what I mean? It's like a hammer. It wasn't like a fist. It was like boom, boom, and it's busting. And then he got up on both his feet, and then he just started stomping him. Boom, boom, and stomping his head. And he would hit his head and then bang against the cement and blood. Every time he hit it, boom, and he would stomp his face so blood would pop out. His head would hit the cement and rev back up. And then he'd stomp him again, boom, and he would knock out, right? You could see his eyes roll, he'd knock out, and then he would stomp him and wake him back up. I'm like, and then he would kick him on the side of his face, boom, and he's kicking his temple, eyes swelling, and I'm like, and I'm looking, and I'm like, somebody stop it. Like, guys, yeah, I was a tough guy, whatever. Not the toughest where I'm from, and not the best, strongest fighter, none of that, but I was no joke. Yeah, you better bring it, right? But I was always a good person. Like, I have compassion. I never liked to see people get beat to the point where it's like it disturbs my soul. It's like they're gonna die if you keep hitting them like this. I didn't like that. It really, and that's how I knew that I guess I was always a child of the Most High, because I wasn't like an animal, like a beast, like a serpent seed. I wasn't, and it just hurt my soul. It's like I want to help the person, but I can't. That's how I was in jail. I see people about to get raped or getting beaten, and you can't do nothing about it. You have to mind your business. It's really disturbing. That's why I don't want none of y'all to put yourself in these positions. Be very careful, because these people, you got people out there that have no empathy or compassion. They will beat you to death. I got a story that I'm going to tell about Boom Bashers, famous legendary Queens crew. where some of them got beat to death, died, and I saw them beat to death. I got that story coming. Those stories come. I might do it on the big channel, Lives of somebody, or I might hear. But anyway, those things, and I've seen a lot of people get beat. My crew, 98, the Stay Up Posse, before we was 98 Posse, that's how we became Parkside. I mean, Parkside became, Stay Up Posse became Parkside because we killed somebody. That story's coming. Korean Ballroom Public Enemy story. That story's coming. All right. So I always had a thing that I don't like to see. So when that dude, when the light-skinned dude was kicking him and I'm looking around, I wanted somebody to stop it. It ain't my hood or nothing. If it would have been my hood, I would have stopped it. I would have told somebody, yo, come on, man. But I don't know his side, their side. I can't get into it. I'm just sitting there and I'm looking around like, somebody stop it. You know what I mean? Stop it, dude. Like, he just kept stomping and kicking him. And I'm like, this dude is going to die. The dude is unconscious. Blood, every time he kick him, blood's coming out. Things are swelling. Things is busting. Pus coming out his eyes. And he just won't stop. I'm like, this dude is a savage. So finally, the Boozer security dudes came out and they stopped it. Right? So I was like, oh, man. You know what I mean? So the dude, the light-skinned dude, he's just like, he feeling himself, right? He's like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah. And so I looked at Dow and I was like, let's go. Because I know the energy. I know if he look around and he's feeling himself, if he catch eye contact with me, with all this stuff on, with that energy, he's going to be in the momentum of this demonic activity. It's going to cause him to set it. I knew it. So I hit Dow. I was like, let's go. Like, because the ratchet is in the car. You know what I mean? Now, I could keep him off with my banger, my ox, but remember, they got a whole crew. It's a bunch of them. And I could tell I could tell he's like the Huntington bully. Like, he's a bully, right? So I can tell that if I set it on him and got it, then they could surround us. You know what I mean? It's 40, 50, 100 people out there. And I ain't from there, you know, and Dow knows some people, but this dude is a bully. I know how bullies get down. People won't go against bullies because they don't want the beef with the bully, you know, after we leave, right? So I hit Dow, like, let's go. So he's like, I said, come on, let's get to the car, at least so I can get this ratchet. So as Dow's like starting to come, I see the dude, the light-skinned dude, he doing all this, yeah, whoever wanted, and he looking everything, and he looked, and I seen him. I seen him look, and it's like, he locked eyes, and then he doubled back. And by then, I was already like, I had already told Dow, so we was already starting. As soon as he did that, I was already in the midst of turning, and the car was over here across the street. So as I start to turn, I look back, and I could see him. He looked, and then he looked at his boys, and then he's trying to, you know, but then the police started to come. So his boys like, yo, here come the police. I forgot what we called police back then, Jakes or something. We probably called him Jake or something. Here come Jake or something, right? So then, so I was like, oh, good. You know what I mean? So we went across the street. So when we was crossing the street, it's a train track there too. So anybody know that downtown Huntington where the Boozers was? So by the time we got to the car, I looked back and he was looking back where his boys were posse and they was trying to leave and everything. And he was looking back and I was like, oh yeah, it was on. All right, bang. Now, we get in the car, we go away. I tell Dow, I'm like, who that? I said, who was the light-skinned one? I forgot his name. I wish Unique was here. He could probably remember his name. I don't know if he remembers his name. It was so long ago. So I was like, and Dow told me the name. I said, yeah, he a beast. He said, yeah, man, he a bully. He's like, he's the worst. Like, he the worst. Like, he just run around robbing people, beating up people, taking your coats, taking your stuff. So I'm like, yeah, Yakab, he said type of hit that vibrates in your body. Facts. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, he ugly, King. I was like, you need to stay away from him. He said, yeah, I do. You know what I mean? He don't like me because I'm from Hempstead. You know, I'm from Nassau County. But, you know what I mean? Me and my boys, I try to just avoid him. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, you need to watch him. Always keep your knife on you, King. Because I think one day he'll set it on you. Because I could feel he saw me with him, right? So bang, that's that. So whatever, we going on. I'm back, I'm doing my thing. Now, One day, this may be a month later or something like that. Dow come, he in Hempstead now. He's like, yo, there's a party. My girlfriend's friend is throwing a party. It's a house party in the basement. And my girlfriend know all the girls, you know, she's popular, cheerleader, captain of the cheerleader squad type of thing, right? So he's like, yo, wow, we gotta go. So I was like, all right, let's go. So we get in the car. I think we took 2 cars. And it was, I know it was me, Unique. I know it was Whip from the Nasty Four. It was Dow. And I think, Raheem was with us too. All from the Nasty Four. And then there was some others. I don't remember everybody else. So we go to the party. It's Dow's girlfriend's house. So it's her party. And so it's her house. So, you know, a house party, I guess it's her birthday or something. So they got food and everything. And then the party is downstairs. Anybody know the old school basement parties in New York? Basement parties was no joke. The lights, you can barely see. You have lighters or something. You light a lighter to try to see people's faces, and the music be hot as all those sweating and stuff. Basement parties was no joke. The walls be sweating and the whatever, right? So, but very dangerous because it's dark. And if it goes down, you could die in a basement party. And remember, it's one way out of a basement. Basement parties are the most, now I think back, most dangerous things in the world. So we're in the basement party, right? It's all good. Bang. So we in there and we, everybody partying, whatever, you know, Dow girl, he introducing us and all that, whatever. Now I'm extra heavy. Okay. I got all my rings because I know I'm going to a party that his girls, so I know she's going to have all her girls. So I'm going to be seen, right? So I'm really heavy. I got everything on, right? Everything. Each finger to each fingertip, all chains, everything. So we in the party, whatever. We having fun, food and everything, party and everything. Then all of a sudden, you hear commotion. So it's like, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I think it's, you know, it's about to be a fight, right? So now, but I got my ratchet. Okay, I got the ratchet with me. Okay, but at this time, Raheem the Dream, Raheem got the ratchet. Raheem used to always like to carry the ratchet because the Dream is funny. The Dream start trouble. Dream is one of those little, he's my age, but he's little than me, but he's one of those little fly dudes who walk like they extra hard. You know, they got that extra bop walk, so they make everybody hate them. Like, you know what I mean? People are jealous. Now, they couldn't set it on Dream because he was connected to Parkside. He was connected. He's my crew. He's connected, 98 Posse. So most people couldn't set it, but only really out-of-towners who didn't know him would set it. Most people who knew him, they gave him a pass because of who he ran with, our crew, right? So, but they didn't like him, you know what I mean? So Dream would always want the gun. I'm telling that because that's going to have another story that's going to be relevant for it because it's going to make sense later in another story. Dream would always want the gun. So when we would leave the house, we'll be in the car, give me the gun. I'm like, he always want to take the gun. So I'm like, whatever. So I know, like, yeah, you know what? You need it because the way you walk around and then he screw face people too. He look at people like, I swear, this is Dream. People from Parkside and Hempstead gonna laugh at this one. He walk around, right? He's got this bop, and then he look at you like this. And he little, skinny as a twig. He little as all outdoor, like you could just break him in half, right? And Dream, no disrespect, but Dream ain't even a fighter either, right? Not that he a punk, but he ain't even no brawler or nothing. Screw face, guys, I had so much beef for Dream. You won't believe the amount of beef we got into that I had to get us out of with our guns because of the way Dream walk around looking at people. I'm like, Dream, stop looking at people like that. We all in Brooklyn. We all over it. And he walk around. Now we in some Brooklyn, Coney Island or Brooklyn or projects in Brownsville or East New York or something. And you walk around screwing. Them dudes gonna kill us, dude. You crazy? We only got one gun or we might have two. We in their hood. They might have everybody come out with a 9,000 ratchets because he want to screw face everybody. Now, so Dream got the gun, right? So we in the party, right? So now the commotion breaks out. I hear commotion. I'm like, all right. So I look at, I'm looking for Dream. All right, you right there. I'm like, Dream, come here. Because you need to be by me with this ratchet, right? So it's my ratchet, you know, and I'm the one with all the wells on, right? All the jewels. That's what I call wells. You hear me say wells? Jewels, jewels. Right? That's what we used to call it back then. So I'm the one with the heavy wells on, jewels, jewels. So then you hear all this commotion, and then the light cut on. That's the basement party. They cut the light on. So when they cut the light on, your eyes have to acclimate to the dark, you know, to the light. So everybody squinting like this, you know what I mean? So then, you know, they cut the light on, and then you see all this commotion over here, right? So it's like a bunch of rumbling and all this, and like, well, ain't nobody invite you, and then all of a sudden, as my eyes acclimate, I look, and I like, oh, it's that big light-skinned dude. He's in the basement party, the one who beat that dude half to death, the one who was screwing me, the one who I looked back when we was getting in the car and he was watching. This is about a month or 2 months later. I done forgot about that whole thing because understand, I'm at war every night with Ratchet City, so I could care less. We all over Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx. We everywhere. We everywhere, and we gunplay just in our hood and on the Heights and Terrace and the Drive and Midway and Parkside, Westbury, Long Island. We everywhere. Long Beach. We everywhere. So we gunplaying all the time. So I forgot all about that crap because I'm having real death shootouts all the time, as y'all know from my story, right? So, but I remembered very quickly then. Yo, that memory came back. Like I looked and I said, "Oh," I'm like this, and he was, you know, he in there already starting some trouble with somebody because he's a bully. That's what they do. Bullies get off on the attention of beating up people. And they like the attention, and the girls, they like to be the bully. I hate bullies, right? So he already like starting with somebody, and then the girls like, we didn't invite you anyway. How'd you get? Who let him in here? And he's like, I invited ain't no party that I don't go to. Ain't no party. I shut this whole mother effing party down and everything. And then he's talking all this crap, and he looks, and he stops. He stopped. It's like a movie, guys. It's like silence. It's like all the noise you can hear. It didn't happen, but it happened in my reality. All the noise stopped. He talking all this crap, doing all this stuff, and he's looked and stopped and linked eyes on me. And I'm even heavier than I was the first time that he saw me in Boozers. I'm heavier. I got everything on. I tell you, I was going there to show off. So I put on almost everything I had, almost, you know what I mean? Like I'm really extra crazy, Mr. T heavy. He stopped, and I probably got the craziest suit on too, because you know I went there to show off. So he stopped and just like, it's like I could almost see him lick his lips. you know how animals, they look like it's feeding time, it's frenzy time, feeding frenzy. He stopped and was like, and I looked at him and I said, oh, this fool. So I said, all right, fool, you might lose your life today. I'm like, you got the wrong one, my G. I kind of got upset, guys, because I don't mess with people. Yeah, I'm stupid. I shouldn't be wearing all this, but this was our reality back then. If you could wear it, you wore it. Now, this is the 80s, right? This is the early 90s. In the 80s, early 90s. Everybody this ain't hip hop where everybody got wrecked. If you got someone that could show you a picture like I showed y'all earlier in the 80s with a Fendi suit or an MCM suit and big chains, oh, they was about that life. That's why I tell you on these other channels that talk all this stuff, tell them show you some pictures of them back in the 80s with my cars, my Benzes and stuff. I'm gonna show y'all in documentary. I'm gonna show y'all on these other channels. I'm gonna show y'all some of my cars too. Oh yeah, I got all receipts. I got receipts of me with my BMWs and Benzes back in the 80s with big chains on, looking like I'm 15 years old. Yeah, oh no. This wasn't the days of everybody wearing $1,000 jeans and everybody got Jordans on that cost $600-700 and you're so okay. Oh, they would kill you for a pair of $30 Pumas. a $30 sneaker. I don't have an 8-ball jacket or a troop jacket or a triple goose leather. Y'all heard last when he told his story about the triple fat. That funny story is triple fat goose. Oh, they killing you. This ain't, you dying for clothing. Listen clearly. They're stripping your clothes, your sneakers, your coats. They're still, you walking naked. If they taking your sneakers, that's $30. Imagine what's going to happen to you with a big chain on, with a big bin, or driving a big mess. Oh, no. That's why I said we show receipts here at 25 to Life. Uncle Yashua 25 to Life tells we show receipts. These are true stories. That's why I said if you want fake stories, then go to another channel. You want me to be talking all fast? You're getting facts. I showed receipts. So everybody who just watched making it later, rewind to the beginning. I'm showing receipts for everything I'm talking about now. So I'm getting upset because this dude is now he's messing with me. Now he's picking on me. And guys, I was always a good person, right? I would blast you and all that, but I'm more of the type that'll protect you. I'm more of the type that'll stop my crew from jumping you, that'll stop, people from harming people who don't got no wins. That's my nature, right? I was always like that. I guess I was always a child of the Most High, right? I was. Now I don't guess. I know I was now. So, but I didn't know it at that time. So now I'm upset because I'm like, now this dude, that's why I was like, and then when I get upset, it's on, right? I'm gonna blast you. So I was like, oh yeah, you might die today because you messing with the wrong dude. And I felt like that because I don't mess with nobody. I help everybody. Dude, just ignore me, my dude. Like, trust me, you don't want this. That's why I'm like you. So he like, now he feel like he got one. He felt like I got him now. Like I might have missed you at Boozers, but you ain't getting away from me here. So he's locked in. So I hit Dow because I see Dow look and Dow like, oh man. So I hit Dow, I motion it down. I'm like, let's go outside because it's too tight in here. Because this dude think I'm about to fight. Oh, you ain't about to fight me. First of all, I'm only like 5'10", probably 150 pounds soaking wet. Your big monkey butt is not about to fight me. You're wrong. Wrong again. You think you're about to tussle with me and try to hurt me. The devil's a lie. You're wrong. So I'm like, I look at that. I'm like, let's go outside. Because this dude about to be clapped. It's going down. I'm going to have to make a getaway. I'm going to have to be skirting out of Suffolk County before the police come. So it's about to be high speed chase. So that's how my mind would work back then. I'm already 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of every situation. I'm already, this is the way I was, guys. I was the guy Rashawn back then. This is the way I was. I'm already planning my escape route, and I can already envision the cops chasing me on the southern state and me square. I'm going to take this street down. Do you know back streets? And I'm already there. That's how my mind always worked. Right. So I looked at Dow. I'm like, yo, let's go. Let's start to go outside because I could see him like rumbling up like he about to get his boys and we're about to do something in there. So but it's still commotion going on because the girl parents and stuff came down and everybody say like the party's over. They're like party's over. Everybody get out. So it's commotion. So I hit Dow. I'm like, come on, let's go. And I grab Raheem because he got my gun. so I grab Raheem and we go and I go around. The crowd, his crowd over here, I go around because it's only one step, the staircase to go up. So I go around, but I'm watching him and he's trying to watch me in the midst of arguing with the people. He keeps trying to keep his eye on me, but I'm watching him. He see me watching him. So I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, no, don't worry. You're going to get what you wanted. I'm like, I ain't about to run. I'm not about to go outside and get in the car and take off. Oh, no. You're going to get some play today. You're going to get exactly what you wanted. Right. So I go around and I'm watching him. He watching me or whatever. And I'm looking at him and I know he could tell from my eyes, like, yeah, I'll be outside. You could tell body language. Real, detect real. So we don't got to even speak nothing. You could tell by our language. I know he real. He a brawler. He'll be a bully. So I know he know. I'm like, no. I'm going to be outside. So we go up outside. We get outside. Now we get outside. Now the people are starting to come out. So we get outside, we stand in the street. My car's across the street right there. So I stand. So they come up. Raheem come up like, yo, Ra, let's go. So I'm like, nah. He like, nah, come on, Ra, let's go. Shout out to KD Kid. Wow. KD said you weigh a little bit more with all those Jews on. Facts. Shout out, Kid. So and I think, I'm not sure if this is the KD from my hood, or if it's not, shout out to you, KD. I'm not sure if this is the one from Parkside, or if this is the other KD, because it's another KD that I know about too. But either way, shout out to either one, which one of y'all are. Shout out KD. So bang. So Raheem is telling us, like, you know what I mean, he want to go, which is understandable. You know what I mean? Really, honestly, we should have just bounced. You know what I mean? Everyone always avoid trouble any way that you can. Do not wait for it. But again, back then, I'm young and stupid, right? And it's because he was trying to bully me. You get it? I'm like, I'm pissed off, right? So I want to smoke, which is not good. You know what I mean? But I want it. So Raheem tried telling me to leave. I'm like, nah. He like, and then Whip is the part that he's Raheem's older brother. Whip came and said, come on, Rod, let's go. So I was like, and Whip is older, so he's telling wisdom. And I'm like, nah. And I'm like, and Dow look at me. I said, nigga, it's on. Dow like, all right, it's on. So I'm like, I'm waiting for this dude. So now, unbeknownst to me, Whip must have got my gun from Raheem without me knowing it. Those are brothers. So I didn't know it though. So anyway, the dude come out. So everybody's coming out. Girls, everybody coming out. So the street's starting to get full of people. So he come out. They come out. They come out rumbling. You know what I mean? Because he got a crew. So he loud. Any of these bullies, they always loud. They always want to be seen. It's all about attention, right? I know all y'all hate bullies, right? So they come out. He loud. They come out. So when he come out, I could see him looking. He's trying to look to see if we left. But he could immediately, I seen him look and he seen the car. Because my car, green and white, y'all seen it at the beginning, it stands out, right? So he's seen the car, so he know we there. So he looking. So as they walking, his crowd walking, he locked eyes on me. He looking. And by the time he looked, he seen me, I was standing there like this, looking right in his face. Like, yeah. So he looked and he looked. So he looking. And when he caught eyes to me, he did like this. Oh, you tough, right? He did like, oh, he hit his boy like, yeah, it's about to go down. I'm about to beat somebody's ass, right? He like, I'm about to beat somebody's ass, right? So he started walking. And he beeline, he looking at me. So I'm looking. So I'm like, all right. So I look at Dow. Everybody's around me. I just stand there. So he come walking up, right? So he said, what up? What up? Ain't you from Nassau? See, Nassau County and Suffolk County is Long Island. So, you know what I mean? It's like a Brownsville, Brooklyn dude saying, ain't you from Bed-Stuy? You see what I mean? Like that type of thing, right? So he's like, ain't you from Nassau County? I'm like, yeah, I'm from Hempstead. Oh, so you Hempstead niggas think y'all could just come out here, pardon my language, y'all could just come out here, y'all think it's sweet? You think Suffolk County sweet? You think you could just wear anything? I said, my dude, this ain't for you. You don't want this. Trust me, you don't want this. Oh, I want all of that. I want all of that. Yeah, I'm about to beat somebody's ass. So he started taking off his stuff, right? So he started taking off his stuff. And so I'm like, all right, this fool. So he taking off his stuff, whatever. He type, you know the bullies guys, they're the type that they take off their shirt. Y'all remember back in the days? They take off their shirt because they want you to see their muscle. You know, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. They take off their shirt. They all extra, right? All extra animated. So he takes off his shirt and he Diesel just natural. You know, some people don't even work out just big. He just a brawler, right? He a bully. So he takes off his shirt and everything and, you know, gives all this stuff. And he turns around and he think he's ready to beat the mess out of me. He probably would have beat the brakes out of me, to be honest with you. No, I can fight though, but I ain't no beating no brakes. I take that back. Ain't nobody beating nothing out of me. Facts. I stopped that. The devil's a lie. Ain't no beating the brakes out of me. I don't care. I done fought the biggest dudes in the world and ain't nobody beat the brakes out of me ever. I don't, you know, if I got to hold on and bite you, like I said, if I got to bite you till you let go, you ain't beating nothing out of me. Facts. I don't know. I'm just a survivor. Ain't like I can beat everybody. Ain't nobody beating no breaks out of me. Anyway, I ain't gonna speak in that crap. But anyway, he probably could win a one-on-one. You know what I mean? So anyway, because he's big, it's a disadvantage. So he turned around, so he like, so he come in, he all like, hey, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'm taking all your stuff. He's like, I'm taking all your chains, all your rings, all that. No, let me rewind. No, when he first came up, no, I'm glad I just remembered that. No, when he first came up, he said, you Hempstead niggas think y'all could come out here where that? He said, who the hell you think you is, Mr. T? Right? So I laughed, right? He said, what the hell? Who the hell wear all the rings? That's what made me laugh. I'm glad I remember that part. He said, who the hell wear all the rings? Who the hell? That's ridiculous. He said, how you put all the rings on your finger anyway? I laughed at that because it was actually really funny. It was really valid because I looked down and it looked ridiculous. Like it's so, and guys, because it's Bernie gave me all these diamond rings. Now I didn't know this worth millions, right? I had no idea. I got millions on my finger, right? Foolish. Because I, you know, and it did think, now these are real diamonds from these rich people. So these probably real diamonds from the South African diamond trade and stuff, and jewels and emeralds and the red jewels and everything. But the thing is so shining. They're like glinging, you know, street lights. We on the street. So it's just, I look down and all I see is that it'll blind you. It's just diamonds and diamonds. And because I didn't even have the high school ones on, I had diamonds on both hands. So I looked down when he said it and I laughed because it was funny. And the crowd laughed, everybody laughed, right? And it was funny. I even laughed because I got a sense of humor, right? So I was like, that was really funny. So he said, I'm taking all that shit. I'm taking all your shit. You going here, you going home naked. I said, this fool, you just don't understand. No disrespect to my Suffolk County crew, but at that time, they were a little slower than us, just a little. That's how it is even down south and other places. Everybody was a little slower than us in New York City. And remember, I'm from Hempstead, so it's right connected to Queens. We go to the city. We city boys, right? So we're not, you know, country boy. We're not, you might think all of Long Island is not, Long Island is huge, it's this long. So we right by the city. We stay in the city, Brooklyn, Queens, Boston. So we city boys, right? So, in our projects and all that. So we run at that speed. Everyone wasn't at that speed. We was on clap you speed back. Like everything was like, we were past the fight days. You know what I mean? So other places of the country, they were still fighting down south and everywhere. They were still knuckling in, getting it in. Even in California, they was getting it in. This is back then before the gangs really started shooting and all that stuff. When Tookie and all them, they was fighting. You know what I mean? Well, you know, at the beginning and stuff. You know what I mean? When Raymond Washington and all them stuff. You talking about the 70s and the early 80s. It's when the 90s started to come in is when all the clapping really started. So we were clapping city, right? So I'm looking at this dude and I'm like, he has no idea. He think he's about to fight, but he's outclassed right now. He doesn't, we're too fast. So he turns, so he's like, I'm about to strip you naked. You about to leave here naked. So he started walking. So when he started taking steps, I looked at Raheem. Because I look at Raheem, I'm like, all right, it's time to give me the ratchet. Because I look and I'm like, okay, he ain't pulling out. Because the dude is starting to come, right? So like, don't let this dude get too close. So all of a sudden, as he started to walk, he take 2 steps. I look at Raheem and Raheem go like this. And I'm like, what does that mean? And then I seen the dude looking like, oh, you want to pull out a gun? And I look and I'm like, what? And Whip pulled out the gun. Raheem brother. And so Whip pulled, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know who he got the gun from. I didn't even know he had it. So Whip pulled out the gun and he's standing there like this. So the dude's like, oh, you gonna pull out a gun? You gonna pull out a gun? Oh, what, you scared to fight? Oh, you scared to fight? I said, nigga, before my legs, this is a fact. I said, nigga, we don't do no fighting. I'm like, listen, my dude, we don't do that where I'm from. I said, we weren't saying clapping. I'm gonna just speak our modern, you know what I mean? We probably saying something else back then. But I'm like, we clapping, my dude. I'm like, you bugging, ain't nobody fighting you. You too big anyway. So he was like, oh yeah, I ain't scared of no gun. I eat bullets. I eat bullets. You know, he a bully. He all big. You know, I eat bullets. They be hyping themselves up, the bullies, right? They get themselves all hype, right? So I'm looking. So he's looking at Whip. Now let me understand something. Whip is no punk. Whip is a fighter. Whip could fight. Whip ain't no joke. But Whip is more of a ladies' man. So Whip is the type. Whip will fly. Whip a whip, he fly. He gonna get all the ladies, but he'll fight. Whip will whoop your butt. You know what I mean? He could fight, but he ain't into fighting. You You know what I mean? He's into ladies, and nobody mess with Whip. He a fly, dressing clean. Whip is clean. Like I'm street thug clean. Whip is clean. You know what I mean? Suits pressed. You know what I mean? Not suits, but clothes pressed, and you know he's just fly. He's a handsome too. He fly, pretty boy, and all that, right? So Whip, but he could fight, but Whip is not on that right now. So the thug dude, I wish I knew his name. He's drooling at the mouth, right? So he's like, I ain't scared of no gun. Because he was, I could see he when he was talking about the gun thing, and when I was talking, he kept looking at me, then he kept looking at Whip. And he would look at me, and he'd look at Whip. Oh, KD said, I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Shout out Ohio in the building. That's what's up, KD kid. So I'm like, so I looked at him, and I see what he's looking at, and I looked at Whip, and I said, he's sizing Whip up. He's sizing him. So I looked, and I could tell from Whip demeanor, he was just sitting there with the gun pointed, but he wasn't like, you know, it wasn't no rah. There was no growl. It was no, you know, it was no darkness. And he looked at Whip, and he's talking all this stuff, and I looked at Whip, and I looked at him, and he's talking all this stuff, and then he did it again. He's talking to me, and I'm like, nigga, you're going to get caught, such. And he looked again at Whip. And then he looked back at me, and I could see his face. He like, this nigga ain't going to pull that trigger. And he said, yeah. He looked at me. He said, you about to get your ass dragged all up and down this street. And he started to take a step, like a full hard step. And when he started to take that step, I looked at him and I saw the confidence. Guys, always stay conscious of your surroundings and your situations. Never get emotional. Always stay conscious in the heat of battle, of warfare. They teach you that if you go to any military. I ain't even been there, but I know military warfare from spiritual warfare, from the streets. I've been in the military, in the streets. I've been in shootouts. So many of y'all know from the channel, and more to come. Now, so I see that there's no fear. He's coming to, he took a step, and when he took that step, I saw in his eyes that there was no stopping it. And he took another step, and I looked at Whip. And then I looked back at him, and he looked at me, and he looked at Whip. And he got one step closer, and he did like this, and I seen him. And it was like, and I looked at Whip, and I had a split-second decision. I looked, and I realized in that moment, Whip is not about to pull his trigger. And I honestly, now I can respect that. You know why? Because Whip has, you know, he's a hard worker. He's a clean cut. He's a good guy. Like, I'm in the streets. Whip not even selling drugs at this point. I'm a drug dealer back then. I'm in the streets, and I know Whip is not about to shoot him, and it could end up getting, you know, attempted murder charge. And he's not about to do that because he ain't about it, and he ain't gonna do it for me. We ain't that close like that. You know what I mean? And I could see all this in a split second when this dude, I look, and he knew Whip wasn't going to pull the trigger, and I looked, and I knew Whip wasn't going to pull the trigger. Both of us, because me and him, we both in those streets, right? This dude's a bully, right? So he focused, I'm focused. I look, we both, and he reached, and as he was reaching, I looked, oh, you're wrong. Wrong again. Wrong, dude. You tripping. If you think Uncle, the God of our Sean, is sleeping like that, you bugging, my dude. I don't go everywhere with all this heavy. If I'm Boo Boo the Fool, I would have been dead in Brooklyn anywhere. I ain't survived all these. I immediately, his hand went up, my hand went over. His hand was coming, and my hand was like this. I snatched that gun out of Whip hand. I snatched that gun, and ching. I'm quick on that. I'm quick on, and let me tell you another thing. I'm quick on the safety. See, y'all that's how you know people who really know guns. Because it's always on safety, because we're gonna keep it on safety to keep it in. I'm not Boo Boo the Fool. You're not gonna have me pull it out and try to click and everything on safety and somebody boom and no. I'm immediate once I grabbed it out of the whip pan, ding, safety's off, gang, fast, all in one motion, ding, gang, and guys, I'm so quick with that ratchet, I caught him with his hand in the air. That nigga, I said, that nigga said, go. I said, I blast your freaking head off. He jumped back and he's standing. And I said, yeah, take a move, nigga. Pardon my language. I just got to keep it 100. It's what I said. Take a move, nigga. Take a move. And he stopped. And he looked at me. Now he's trying to size me. He's trying to see if I'm going to pull the trigger. And he stopped and he looked. And I looked. And I'm just looking at him. It's almost silent. And I could see he looking in my eyes and he realized, this nigga gonna shoot me. Smart man. Smart. Bing, ding, 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 ding. And the winner goes to the bully. Smart. Because I would have blasted his ass. I probably would have went to jail for life. I was a fool. I would have blasted his ass 9,000 times. Facts. He stopped for that second and he looked and he realized in his eyes, yeah. And he said, see, that's that punk shit. You gotta hide behind the gun. You gotta stand behind the gun. And I just looked at him and I started laughing. I said, what you mad? What you mad? I said, huh, you want the rings? You want the rings? You want a ring? You know, faggot. I said, you a bully, ain't you? I said, you lucky I don't just blast your ass for all the people in Huntington that you didn't bully. You lucky I don't just blast your ass. I really, honestly, guys, I wanted to blast him. Because I know he done beat up so many people and bullied them, but I really wanted to blast him. But there's so many people, you know what I mean? They got my license plates to my car. See, I'm a thinker, you know what I mean? I'm like, if I do blast him, you know what I mean? They're going to say my license plate, Dow, his cousin. Next thing you know, I got Suffolk County Police teaming with Nassau County, with Hempstead Police coming to my projects, and it's a wrap. Because I think I was living in the projects back then, or maybe Queens. I don't know. I don't know where I was living, but it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So I was like, so he's like, yeah, you're a punk. You want to hide behind a gun. I like, nigga, you, first of all, I should clap your ass for all the stuff you did to everybody out here. I said, I should embarrass you out here. I said, y'all see this? Y'all scared of this? Watch them. I said, come now, say something. Faggot. I just started taunting him just to make him feel, pardon my language, that F word I said, I don't mean anything to the rainbow community. This is just how we talked back then. It meant a punk. It didn't mean that you were gay. It meant, you were scared to fight. So, I got to clean that up. We've been got a strike. We've been, Maryam Shalom, we've been got a strike. Okay. So I said, I wanted to do something for all the wrong things he's done. You know what I mean? I guess that was just in me. But I was wise enough to know. So I started to say words to embarrass him that I know that he has never probably been in the public and all his people and nobody talked to him that way. You see? Because everybody's scared of him, right? Even the dudes who's not scared to fight. So I started to embarrass him with the words and just calling. I start snapping on him. Look at you. You big head. Like, look at your clothes. Look at your sneakers. And I could see the people. This is the funny part, guy. I could see the crowd. They want to laugh, but they don't want him to see them laugh because he might beat them up later. It was hilarious. And I could see them like, good. You can see the girls like, good. Get him. Good. Finally, somebody's standing up to him. Somebody's, you know what I mean? And I'm a little dude, right? So I'm like, I'm quick. I was always quick-witted. So I could really use my tongue as a sword to slay you. So I start slaying him, talking about his sneakers, talking about his clothes, talking about everything. I'm talking about his mama. I'm just slaying him. And he's getting madder and madder. And he's trying to say something back, but he can't. So then I taunt him so bad, guys, that he got mad. He started to take a step to me again. He wants to fight through the gun. I said, come on. He tried to take a step. I said, come on. Go ahead. One more step. And he stopped. He's like, ah! Put the gun down. Put the gun down. I said, look at you, have a little fit. Well, little baby. He's a baby, guys. Your little famous thug is a baby. He's a baby. You're a punk. You're a punk. I said, you lucky. If I had one of my goons from Hempstead here, oh boy. If I had Steve Lawrence or Gene Grant or any, if I had one of my goons from Hempstead here, oh, they'll go one-on-one with you. Oh, I got some fighters from my hood. Oh, they'll be all day. Here, take my coat. Artie from Roosevelt. They'll go one-on-one with you all day, big boy. Now let me see you rumble with these big. He would have did it because I'm not going to take nothing from him. He wasn't a punk. He would have rumbled. I don't know if he would have won. You know, that would have been a rumble in the jungle. You know what I mean? Oh, but yeah, they'll go with you. I'll go with somebody you give them my side. I'm not going with you. You're too big. All right. So anyway, and I ain't about to fight anyway because I'm past that. You know what I mean? I'll fight only if necessary. Now, so now he's having a fit, right? So he's going crazy. So he's yelling in the streets. So then I can see people house lights because it's a suburban neighborhood. So I can see people lights coming on because he's yelling in the streets. So now he's yelling, he's mad. He's starting to push people in the crowd. He want to fight anybody. So now he want to fight anybody. So he's trying to start fights with anybody. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, and then I looked at Dow like, all right, now it's time to go. You know what I mean? Once I seen the people, I'm like, the police gonna be coming soon. It's a residential neighborhood. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So I looked at Whip. I'm like, go get that car. I told somebody, go get my car. You know what I mean? Go start it up, pull it up. And he's like, no, you fight, and all this stuff, right? So story ain't over. So he, you know what I mean? I'm like, nigga, you got an L. You lost this one. And if you don't stop, you're going to really lose this one because you're going to be in the hospital, right? So whatever. So the car pull up, whatever. We go to get in the car and everything. He all mad. He doing everything. Now you can see the police. I can see the lights, sirens coming up the street and everything. I'm like, all right, we out. Let's go. So we get in the car. We leave, right? We leave. We go back to Hempstead. You know what I mean? We tell him the story, whatever. I ain't saying nothing to Whip because I understand Whip ain't no joke. Whip ain't no punk. Whip will shoot you too if you mess with him. But he wasn't in that life right then. You know, he was coming to party with us. You know what I mean? He wasn't coming for the beef of me wearing all his jewelry. So I ain't look at him no way that he wasn't going to bust the gun. You know what I mean? No, that was nothing. You know what I mean? It was all good. So bang. Now, we home. Whatever. We going on with life. This had to be about, I don't know. It was a long time. Maybe even a year. Like a long time, 9 months, 10 months. We go out to Huntington. We go out there, something's going, some function or something. We drive out there, Dow's already out there. We get out there and it was bad. We out there and I don't know how I pulled up or something, but it was already like commotion. So we got there and I look and it's already commotion. And so then all of a sudden I see two dudes like go out in the street. One dude kind of ran around a car and then the other dude came and I could see one dude was kind of hunting the other dude down. And he was talking all this stuff. And then I looked and it was Dow. And I'm like, but it was already in the midst of it. And it was the bully dude. He had caught Dow because, from us, I guess it must have been the first time he caught him or something. And he was, but Dow was fighting him. And Dow was little like me. And so the part I caught, they squared up. I could see Dow was already bleeding and stuff. So the part I caught, they were squared up, and he swung. He hit Dow, bang. Then Dow hit him, boom. Then he grabbed Dow, and Dow slipped out of it, and then Dow hit him again, boom. Then he grabbed Dow and he slammed him, boom, because he's big, boom. And then Dow got back up, and then he started hitting Dow, boom, boom, big punches, and they was like hurting. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh. Goodness. But Dow was fighting. I never seen Dow fight. I knew Dow wasn't no punk, but I never really seen him scrap. And I had so much respect for my little cousin because he was fighting this big bully and he was just going at it. You know what I mean? He was taking all those blows, blood busting out his lip, jammy eyes, and he was swinging back. Boom! And they was going at it. But the dude was getting the win because he was too bigger. He was too big. So then at one time he slammed him and he started to kick him. And I wasn't having that. So I jumped in. I had a knife and I jumped in. I'm like, you know, this got to stop right now. Nah. So then other people, his other boys tried to jump in. So I'm like trying to stab them and cut them. They all got up. And then, you know, their boys are trying to come. And then we got a knife. You know what I mean? I got my knife and I'm trying to keep them back. And you know what I mean? And then the crowd and then all the people. And then the people started, the cops are going to come and all that type of stuff. And so we got away. You know what I mean? But yeah, Dow had, you know, he fought him. But, you know, he took a little bit of an L because the dude is a bully. You know what I mean? I felt really bad because, you know what I mean? I'm like, so then that's when Dow told me, he said, yeah. He said, I've been trying to avoid him, but I got to go to school, right? You know what I mean? So he would come up to my high school. He said he'd been trying to catch me since the thing happened with the gun at the party last year. I had no idea because I'm back in Hempstead still doing, you know, I'm living that from the stories on here. And Dow, he said, yeah, man, I've been having beef ever since. You know what I mean? His boys who follow him, he said, I'll be having fights for them in school. He said, and he would come to the school, but the principal and people would call the cops whenever he come because he's a bully. So I would always have to, you know, he said he would sneak out back doors. He said, I've been ducking him this whole time. I'm like, dude, why you ain't tell me? He said, Dow said, because I knew that y'all would come out here and you would get in trouble. And he was right. He said, I knew that, you know, if I told y'all, y'all would come out here with niggas from Hempstead and then y'all might end up killing them. And now what? You know what I mean? Y'all got a body. He said, so I figure I can handle it. You know, I handle it on my own. I'm like, but that dude is dangerous. He said, you know what I mean? I got it. But I had so much respect for Dow. I was like, wow, kid, you definitely about that life. You know what I mean? He definitely fought, you know what I mean? And he definitely stood up for his own. So that's why, guys, in the stories I told on St. Laz, that was me and him back to back. That was me and him back to back on a lot of those stories. We've been through a lot together. And that's my little cousin. Now, the funny thing is, I would love to find out. I'm gonna ask Unique to find out if Dow know if that dude is still alive. Because most bullies, guys, they already dead. Most bullies don't last long. I never liked bullies. I don't like people who take advantage of people that are weaker or smaller than them. I never did. Again, I don't promote any gun violence. I don't promote anything. But I was never going to let no one harm me to the point of, you know, killing me or destroying me. Again, as I say, you don't want to live any of this life because if I shot him, I could have ended up in prison. You see, I could have ended up in some Suffolk County. Now, think about it. I'm out there in Suffolk County. If I would have shot him out there, I would have ended up in their jail, Riverhead. That's the Eastern Long Island jail. Oh, that's a whole different ball game for me ending up in Nassau County Jail, where I'm from, or Rikers in the city, right? So that's a whole different thing. Just like when I went to Rikers, it was a whole different thing in Queens House because I'm from, you know, I'm not born and raised there. I'm from there, but I didn't go to high school and I don't know as many people as if I was just born and raised in Queens and Brooklyn. I was born and raised in Hempstead, Strong Island, and Queens of Brooklyn a little. But I got taken from Brooklyn when I was little and I moved to Queens after, you know what I mean, after high school. But we was always there. So when I go to Queens House in Brooklyn and in Rikers Island, it's a whole nother establishment that I got established for myself because I'm from Strong Island. You feel me? Yeah, I got some of the times I could get away with Queens, You know what I mean? So some of our Queens niggas like, nah, he from Farmers, he from Queens. But if I ain't in there with none of them, I'm not going to rep Queens and I'm not going to rep Bed-Stuy, even though that's where I'm from. Even though that's where my family's from, Brevoort Projects, my family's from Bed-Stuy. But I'm not going to rep that, even though that's where I was born and I was taken from there when I was little and all that. And then I moved back and lived on Gates and Troop. You know what I mean? I lived in the Bronx. I lived in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So, but I lived in the Stars, but I'm still not going to rep that as like where I'm from. I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dark side, strong guy, the wrong guy. You think I'm from suburb? Facts. That's at the end of this song, the end of this thing. I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dark side. Facts. I don't got to rep nowhere else. I rep right where I'm from. Boy, you come there and get laid down. Everybody come there and get laid. You don't leave. You don't leave. You come there. Everybody come there. Oh, I shouldn't have came here. Yeah. You got that wrong. You heard? Nah. So I'm saying this because you don't want to live this life to end up in these systems. Like I said, I could have shot that dude and ended up in Suffolk County Prison in Riverhead. Now I'm in their prison system, right? Their jail system, where I'm in there for shooting or killing their bully. He probably got mad goons in jail, who love him. My bid would have been a rough one out there in Suffolk. It would have been a rough one. Now, I got a little brother named Sean, but I didn't even know my little brother because I was dispatched from my family, dispatched. And his brother, the Lucases, out there in Central Islip and Comac and what's not Brentwood? What's that other one? Dag, I wish I had it. Bellport. They run, the Lucases run everything. Because my brother Sean, his father was an OG drug dealer. You know what I mean? So my biological mom, who I never met, you know what I mean? She married another, after she had me with her father and left, she married another dude from out east. I learned all this later. You see, when I met my mom as an adult, you know what I mean? And my brothers and them, I didn't even know them. So I wouldn't even know. And I had to, like Kojak from out there in the Bellport. For those from Suffolk County, y'all know the legend. Gerald Legend, that's actually my family. I wouldn't even known that. I probably could have got into beef with Kojak, would have been my blood, and I wouldn't even know. He probably could have killed me for that dude not knowing I'm actually his cousin. See, that's why it's good to let your family know who they are. It's good. You end up killing or sleeping with your own cousin or sister or something. Your family don't, let you, your pops are smashing everything. They let you know he got children. You see? So anyway, I'm saying I could have ended up in Suffolk County doing that. So again, guys, moral of the story, get a job. Moral of the story, get a job, work for yourself, get a trade, learn how to, get something on the internet. Do something, YouTube. Don't do no crime. Don't end up in nobody's jail. Get you a girl, get you a job, get you a family if you want that. If not, then get your purpose. Follow the Most High. Start to teach others. Be productive. Give Caesar what Caesar. Take care of the laws of the land you in. Don't live this life. I got a second chance in my life. I had 25 of life. I had 15 of life. I had a 2 to 7. No, what was my hit bid? I think it was a 3.5 to 7 or something. Whatever, that first felony bid, the max first felony thing that they was giving me, that I would have did 6 years in prison for at that young age. I never got an easy bid. The thing I want y'all to know, guys, every time I ever went to jail, it was never small. It was always huge numbers. When I was there, I'm like, why can't I just do a regular bid like everybody else that's all happy in here? Every time I'm getting hit with some numbers. So anyway, you don't want that. You don't want to be, especially at this end time system, you don't want to be in the beast system because everything is crashing. And the first people that's going to suffer are people who are behind in those cages. They're going to freaking try to exterminate everybody, all our people in those cages. So you do not want to get caught in these beast system cages in the prison system when all Babylon falls, when everything falls. Stay productive. Your freedom is everything. It's nothing like fresh air and opening the refrigerator and being able to, if you got kids, see your son, take them to school, play with them in the park. Go to the movies with your girl, walk with your girl, anything, just freedom, guys. Walk and have freedom. Drive if you got a car, taking the train. Just be thankful for the freedom you have. People don't realize what they have until it's gone, and then it's too late. So for those who don't like this part of my channel, well, then don't be here, because I'm always going to try to pour into the youth. That's why I'm doing 25 Life Tales. I ain't doing it to glorify my past. My history and legacy is stamped in the streets. People grew up on me. They tell me the stories about their life, depending on what car. Oh, remember this ride? Yeah, I don't even remember. They be telling me stories. Like, remember when LL told the story about us at Princess Black, and he said we was in my Fendi Audi, and I did this, and I went down the street and was yelling to the cops, and the cops and all that, certain thing I didn't even remember. People were there telling me. So receipts. Again, give Caesar what Caesar, respect the land you in, take care of one another. You see, it don't make you tough to be thug, gang, all that. Pull your pants up. You know what I mean? Pull your pants up. That's gay anyway. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about the rainbow people, but I know the young like, but that's cool. It ain't cool. We started that in the prison system. That was a mark that signed that you was somebody's booty. So I don't care what the world try to do to make it cool. It ain't cool. You don't got to pull them up to you looking like Urkel, nerdish. I wear mines up. I don't look soft. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not having my butt out when I'm walking down the street. Come on, guys. Enough of that. That's the beast system to trick us and make y'all think we ain't live like that. We ain't live like that. That is not cool. You know what I mean? And it's nothing is more respectful and cooler than raising your children and taking care of your home and being a man. All right? The beast is trying to take your freedom. All right. Whew. Another one down. Uncle Joshua, 25 to Life Tales. That was my first Suffolk County story. Huntington, Long Island. Shout out Huntington, Suffolk County. Boozer. Shout out to Emerson Boozer. I don't know if the legend is still alive. The Super Bowl champs, New York Jets. Joe Namath for them. Another one down. KD said, I know y'all were teenagers back in those days. Facts, we were. I was crazy. KD, it was crazy. And KD, that 80s crack era in New York City was a whole different beast, because the crack that they released back then, KD, was different from the crack later when Ready Rock, when the crack they released back then was like a demon in it. It was like demonic. And so the streets was zombie land. And then the money, KD, was all over but it was the Wild Wild West, KD. I'm talking about, it was so much killing. KD, it was like, I guess the way Chicago, from what I hear, the way Chicago is. But it was still different because money was everywhere. I mean, you could come out. Okay, KD, on my block at the projects, before they shut it down at the beginning, the cops was scared. It was one time, KD, that the cops didn't even know what crack was. They didn't even know what it was. They would literally take the crack and throw it away because they were looking for guns and cocaine. They had no idea what crack was. They thought it was rocks. It was like, they got rocks in his pocket. They would just take the crack and throw it away. It's like, yes, King, it was that bad before they even knew what crack was. Then also, Katie, there was a time when the cops was scared to come. They would get a call and they would wait until they get a whole platoon, the what's the name van? I forgot what they used to call the paddy wagon. The paddy wagon van and the helicopters, they would wait. So you would call the cops and ain't no cops coming. By the time the cops coming, you dead. Anything. So it was the wild, wild west, the crack era. We talking the Supreme Team era, the Preacher, Rich and Alpo, all the stories. 50 Cent, you know, the original 50 Cent plus the rapper 50 Cent. This the era I come from. I was out there. So the pictures I showed at the beginning of this, I showed a picture of me in the 80s. This was like, I don't know, that was like 85 or something with the MCM suit, the big chain, the 4-finger ring. I was in South Road right by Supreme. Dude, you wasn't wearing that, KD. You was dead, my dude. And I had a big Benz outside, the big 500 outside. And I was a teenager, KD. I was a kid. KD, I got a story that I'm about to tell one day on here where we were so little, me and Raheem, the one I just said in the story, the one who would screw face everybody. We went to the Greek Fest. Y'all remember Lauryn Hill said the Greek Fest, something, and Nas said at the Greek Fest. They say that in one of them songs. Someone could put it in the comments if y'all know what I'm talking about. Something at the Greek Fest. Lauryn Hill said in her song, and Nas said on his album, Illmatic, about the Greek Fest, right? This is the time when when Tretch dropped OPP. I had a big silver 500 Benz, right? It was a 6.9 liters, European, everything European. Me and Raheem was driving in this Benz. We looked so little, KD. The funniest thing in the world, this cop looked at me. He walked up because we had Greek Fest, so the cops wouldn't message. He walked up and he said, "How old are y'all?" It was the funniest thing in the world. I didn't even think about it. I'm sitting in the car. This Benz is so big, KD. I'm skinny. I'm little. He little. Raheem looked like he 10. I look like I'm all of 13. This cop walked up to us because it's a long line of cars for the Greek Fest. Everybody inching. We in this big with chrome hammer, and this big silver 500 Benz. He walked up and he said, "How old are y'all?" And I looked at him. Now we high as hell, smell like weed, eyes red. I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "This is a beautiful Mercedes." He said, "Is that the 6.9? I said, "Yeah, it's the 6.9 European edition." He said, "All the thing is in Europe written." I said, "Yeah, look." He looked at the car, said, "Everything is written in German. Nothing was written in English in the car. Everything that said was in German." He said, "Oh my, this is a classic." He said, "That's a beautiful car." I said, "Thank you, man." And he just let us drive off. And that's when they was playing OPP. That's when OPP dropped. You remember OPP? And Tretch was running around giving out stickers. I got another story about that. The OPP, they were black and white stickers that said OPP on them. This was that year. See, at Uncle Yashua 25 to Life Tales, we got stories. I got so many stories. I'm saving a lot of the big name celebrities because I'm going to do it on these big channels. And then as our channel grow, I'm going to tell the other ones later. Right? But I don't want to tell these big celebrity stories and these crazy ones, right? With Tupac and Rakim and the firsthand stuff. And we, for, hundreds of views or whatever, I'll save it for the big one to get thousands until our channel grow. And our channel's going to grow. I got stuff I'm going to do and stuff that's going to grow. It's going to grow. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. Mike Mills said Jones Beach Greek Fest was lit. Yes, Mike. Crazy lit. Yo, the Greek Fest? Oh, they would come. St. Laz told the Greek Fest story. That was funny. But he said that was the end of the Greek Fest when it was over. Because later, the other one from Atlanta started having one, I forgot, Freak Nick. This is later. So, but the Greek Fest was first. Jones Beach. Everybody came. It was lit. I'm talking about the 80s. Oh, I got some stories coming about the Greek Fest. Legendary stories. Woo! I got a legendary story about the big dogs, the big kingpins. Not me. I was no joke, but the big kingpins, the ones I looked up to. Oh, yeah, firsthand stories. I'm saving it for the big channel. But yeah, Greek Fest. Facts. All right, guys. Shout out to Mike Mills. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to everybody who came on the live. I'm gonna still keep it AP. I'm gonna test out the early one. I'm gonna see which one works better, but whatever. Who cares? We're gonna grow the channel organically. It's gonna grow. I just gotta keep putting in this work. I'm gonna start going on these big channels, and every time I go on the big channel, more people will find us and come and see the official, true stories with receipts. That's the thing about Uncle Yashua 25. That's why I rocks with Unique Mecca Audio. You know why? Because I know Unique stories are true. I got a story that I got coming about Unique. I saw Unique. I saw his cars. You know what I mean? I saw him when I was up in Harlem with my Fendi Audi. I saw his white joints. All right? I didn't know who he was, but I saw him. I knew the store. I knew the club. You know what I mean? So that's why later. So again, I respect those who was really, really there. There's nothing wrong with people who notice who's telling their stories. Everybody got stories. It's fine. You know what I mean? But everybody don't got. Remember, this is the thing, guys. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wasn't at the top. So everybody got stories, but you wasn't at the top. You're going to have to show a receipt. Show me you in 88 with a Fendi suit or a Gucci suit with big chains and a big car, and I'll know that who you were. Because back then, guys, it wasn't like now where you could go buy you a Bentley and ride around. Oh, no. You getting clapped. You getting killed. You couldn't wear nothing. You had to be official. Your gun game had to be on lit all day, every day. No disrespect to no other time frame, but I'm from the crazy crack era when crack was released. I got a story coming to 25 to Life, guys. I'm going to tell y'all what happened when crack. Good one, Unc. I'm going to tell y'all a story, guys, when crack first got released to New York City. I'm talking about when they released it. Before it was crack, when it was freebase. Before there was a thing called crack, it was freebase. And they have to cook the coke and make the freebase. And what it did to the streets when it came. Woo! That's when the crack era started. It was the Wild, Wild West. Shout out everybody. Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Tales live show. I'll see y'all next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got my new story for Thursday. I wrote it somewhere. I can't. Oh, it's a doozy I'm about to tell next Thursday. Oh, I'm going back to the street. I'm going back to the projects. I got a gunplay. I'm going back to the hood next Thursday. All right? So next Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m., Uncle Yahshua live. For everybody who joined me, salute to my 25 to Life family. Shalom to all of your Yeshua light. Shalom to the nation. Shalom to all the gods and earths. Peace to all the gods and earths. Shalom to everybody. Uncle Yahshua, I love y'all all. Remember, take care of one another. All right? Remember, take care of one another. Take care of your children. Stay out of the beast system. Like 10 Toes Down said, keep your butt out of the white man prisons. He said, keep your butt out of the white man prison system. You know what I mean? Yeah, stay out of the beast system, guys. Be there for our own. All right? Love one another. Another one down. Keep it functional. Uncle Yahshua, love y'all. Love the Most High. Yo, thank y'all for joining me. I'll see y'all all next week. Another one down. All right, we out, guys. Love y'all all.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha cause I like to tuck that choochie. All the time on the grind, getting that doochie. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dark side, strong side, the wrong side. I think I'm supposed to run. Am I bad, motherfucker?